Phantom Sounds production. What up, sound?
You're on the show, go ahead and hit that plus sign. Go ahead and hit that plus sign if you're on the show, y'all. Welcome, everybody. If you're on the show, go ahead and hit that plus sign. There's also an open box if everybody wants to hit the plus sign. Welcome, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Jen. The Red Room Talk is about love, intimacy, and interpersonal relationships, including self, erasing different social stigmas. We are here to have candid discussions and cut through stigmas to show that in the end, no matter what your background, age, nationality, that we all have commonalities when it comes to matters of the mind and heart. Nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that's okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking the link in my profile and subscribing. Last episode, we talked about self-love, but this week we're going to discuss mental health. Tonight in the Red Room, we have an all-star cast. We have Cupid, we have Cotton Candy Yams, we have TT Mama, and we have Victoria's Secret. Tonight we're going to leave... Tonight's topic is mental health. But what I want to know is mental health more important than physical health? Before we get started, all I ask is keep your mind open and your language clean. First things first, go ahead and hit that plus sign if you're on the show, and I'll go ahead and I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us about your stream. Hi. Salute. As it goes, we are polite, so we are going to let the ladies go first and introduce themselves. So I'll go ahead and start with we'll go ahead and start with you, Cotton Candy.
Well, I'm Cotton Candy. Um, I don't really have like a streaming show or anything, but I do stream. I don't have a certain time, but I like to, stream and meet new people and just have fun with it. So nothing important about me. I'm a nursing school, and at the end of the day, I love to make people laugh and enjoy themselves. Whenever they come to my stream, they have a good time, and that's what it's all about. So I'm the girl Cotton Candy Yams. That's all I gotta say.
I guess it's my turn, hon. I didn't even know I was
Yeah.
on the show tonight. This is like such a last minute for me. But I love Jen, so she got me. My name is Victoria's Secret. I do stream. I actually will be putting up a streaming time this week. I do have a show coming tomorrow, Sunday night, 10 p.m. Confessional Sundays with Victoria's Secret. So it's gonna be lit. I'm ready to turn up and shouts out to everybody.
I guess I'm the last person. Let's go. I'm Cupid, man. You can catch me every day, basically. After basically 6 o'clock to basically 10, because I work during the week. And you can catch me on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Dear Cupid with Cupid, that's me. And the show, it's been amazing. Just did a show probably like 2 hours ago. I'm gonna just say, man, y'all missed a good show if y'all missed it, but y'all can catch it on YouTube. It's on YouTube, and basically, be ready for next week, because guess what? Jen is gonna be on it with G-Way.
Ooh, turn up.
All right. Well, I am your host, Jen and Juice. Of course, as you know, I am the host of the Red Room Talk. You can find me here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am also the graphic artist for the Getting Lit show, which is every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at King of Diamonds Live. But any other time, you can find me late nights into early mornings. That's pretty much where you can find me, somewhere between 10 p.m. to 8, 9 noon, somewhere in there. um, so we're going to talk about mental health tonight. Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. Mental health is more than just an absence of mental health disorders or disabilities. Peak mental health is about not only avoiding active conditions, but also looking after ongoing wellness and happiness. Preserving and restoring mental health is crucial on an individual basis, as well as throughout different communities and societies. What I want to know is, what comes to your mind when you hear the words mental health?
Lady?
And
Lady first.
I see what you did there. Actually, we'll go ahead with you, Cupid.
Um, when I think of mental health, I just want to be a gentleman, let ladies go first. But mental health, I'm thinking more of trying to just focus on self. That moment where you really think about everything that goes on in your mind, and you're trying to solve different problems that you go through every day. And most people keep those problems built up inside. So when it finally comes to that point where you have to open up and try to speak to somebody about it, it's hard to really talk to somebody. So mental health is very, very hard for certain people. So mental health is like I said, it's hard. And that's it. That's all I have so far. You felt that tag?
That was good.
What was the question?
What comes to mind when you hear the words mental health? And don't you guys in the comments be afraid. We do have a last box open until our last person shows up, if they show up. So we're going to leave that as a hot seat box. So at any point, any of you viewers who have something to say can get in the box too. So what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health?
Well, for me, I believe that Cuba was talking more about like mental health as far as yourself, relationships, and things of that nature. I want to talk about mental health when it comes down to like a person being depressed. Um, to me, mental health and physical health kind of play an equal part. And the reason why I say that is because when a person has a mental situation or their mental health is not together, it affects their physical. And when I talk about physical, I'm not talking about like the person's physique. I could talk more about being physically unfit, meaning like your health, diabetes, heart issues, strokes, and things of that nature. So when you're mentally not together, or depression, or anything that's actually putting your mind in that mindset, it messes with the whole body, as well. So as far as the aspect, as far as like body wise, medical wise, I believe that physical health and mental health kind of play a certain part. It goes equally together for me.
I'm gonna agree with that because I'm gonna agree with that. Like that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna agree with
Definitely. When I hear the words mental health, I think of things like depression, anxiety, um, or just the health part, like being clear minded, having, just a healthy standards for yourself, that self love, all of those things kind of go hand in hand when I think of the words mental health. um I think of deeper things, like mental issues where like people are sad or they commit suicide. I think of things that are even on that deep a subject too, because these are things that are so stigmatized that we're afraid to really talk about them. So that's why tonight I brought this issue to the table, because I feel like mental health is such a stigmatized subject that we are often so afraid to speak on it, because we're afraid that people are going to judge us, when so many of us have these same issues, and don't speak on them because we're afraid of being judged, when in actuality so many of us struggle with these same things and we just keep them on the inside. That little voice inside your head, not literally but literally, that voice inside your head that tells you that other people are going to judge you for what you're feeling. But so many of us go through these same things.
yeah,
You know what
but
I'm saying? So many of us go through the same
people mess
things, and
up.
really, what's that?
People people mess up because they think they open up. They be so quick to open up to people because they need someone to talk to, where that they not open up to the right person, them the people that's judging, instead of getting to know somebody and getting to know the background of that situation.
Definitely. I feel like that it's so stigmatized, and we need to really start talking about it more. So it's not that stigmatized subject, that we can all be open and honest with not only ourselves but other people, and not be afraid, because when you start talking about it, that's when your mind is more open and you're more at ease and you're into the more of that mentally healthy state. Because of this subject, I will let you all know that I did plug on my Instagram. If you go and click the icon in my profile, I plugged all the numbers for the suicide hotline, the Veterans Crisis Prevention Hotline, the LGBTQ plus crisis hotline. I did plug all of those for all of you, and the suicide text line. So all of those are available for all of your specific needs. If you guys ever need anybody, my inbox is also always open. Um, if you're just pulling up, that's okay. We have so much more to come. You can find us here every Saturday on the Red Room Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just discuss what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health, and I want to talk about what's more important. In the U.S. and much of the developed world, mental disorders are one of the leading causes of disability. Social and financial circumstances, biological factors, and lifestyle choices can often all shape a person's mental health. A large proportion of people with a mental health disorder have more than one condition at a time. This is pretty alarming in itself. So what I want to know is, actually, Cotton Candy kind of brought this up already. What is more important, physical or mental health? Is mental health more or less important than physical? And all of you in the comments, please do not be afraid. That last seat is the hot seat of the night. So go ahead. If you have something to say, go ahead and jump in that box. It's an open spot.
And I'm gonna say it goes hand in hand. I can't put mental health on a higher pedestal than physical health, because is both important because your mental health plays a key factor in your physical health, because if you dealing with something on the inside, your health is going to reflect your mental. Because I had a situation where I deal with anxiety. So when things start to bother me, get to me, I start stressing. I end up getting sick. I end up having panic attacks. So that's my health. That's my heart. That's my blood pressure. It's building up. It got so bad where I couldn't stand my heartbeat was racing. So it's very important, and both of them play a key part in your life. So when you stress or you going through a lot, talk to somebody, because with me, I don't talk to a lot of people. I kind of bottle up a lot of stuff. So yeah.
The same energy you take of that mental is the same, physical is the same. So like it's neck to neck. It's there. You thinking about something, and then you stressing, you putting pressure in your heart. It goes so much, like it's a lot, and they run neck to neck. It's no which one need more or which one need. It's not. It's the same. They both need the same attention as each other.
Can y'all hear her?
No, I think your sound went out.
We can't hear you, darling.
No.
Oh. No.
Can you hear me?
Okay. No, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was saying that when it comes down to what Cupid was saying, like I was saying earlier, mental health can affect so many things. And like he was saying, he was having like heart issues and things of that nature, which I was talking about in the beginning, as far as like strokes and, you know, dealing with your hypertension. Everything plays a role when it comes down to physical. So like I said in the beginning, I do want to say they go hand in hand. I can't see myself being mentally okay or physically messed up, or and vice versa. Because like I said, if my mental's not right, eating. He said something about eating. I don't want to eat. I'm not feeling well because now I'm not eating. I'm not feeding my body. I'm not feeding my physical. So basically, they go hand in hand to me.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Definitely. What Tag just said, the brain moves before the body. I definitely agree with that. Stress is the leading cause of death. Let's be honest. We know when we're stressed out, you're not eating, you're not paying attention, you're just, the rest of it kind of follows with that. And definitely like she just said, you're not wanting to eat, you're not wanting to get out of bed, especially if you're dealing with depression, when you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with all these issues. And then even some people deal with even deeper issues where they're on medication, so I'm saying it's like, definitely make sure you're feeding your mind and body. It's kind of like an intricate balance. It's like the scales, you can't give one more than the other, because then you're going to knock it off balance. And you really have to have this healthy balance of good physical and good mental health. And when one lacks, the other one follows. You can't give one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Cupid.
I'm gonna say one key factor in both of those that everybody need is rest. You need to calm down, sit down, take a breather. Because if you breathe and actually sit back and just stop thinking for a second, breathe and just relax. Because if you don't sit down, take a breather and relax, your brain is steady moving. Your brain is going crazy, is making your heart race, and your body is not calming itself down. So once your body calms down, it kind of helps you out. Drink some water. The doctor always say drink some water if you're feeling like that your blood pressure rising. It'll help bring it down. Just relax. That's all you got to do.
Great. We kind of touched on one that hits pretty deep for me. If any of you know me, I'm sure you've told me at some point, go to sleep, take your butt to bed. I'm one of those that I'm kind of always on go. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to just sit down, because I feel like there's something that always needs to be done, or I always can do better, or I always can do more. And that's something that's hard for me that I deal with. I mean, stress is definitely something that's in my life. I mean, I think it kind of is in all of ours. I don't think any of us are really absent of any type of stresses, whether it's work, your children, if you have children, your family. I mean, we all have these outside stressors that can affect us, which affects, sleep, nutrients, all those things. So if you were just pulling up, that's okay. You haven't missed much. We still have a lot more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday on the Red Room Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just discussed what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health. Then we discussed, is mental health more or less important than physical? Now I want to dig a little deeper. Again, before I go on, anybody at any point, you guys can hit that hot seat box at any point if you have any comments on the topic tonight. In the United States, the National Alliance on Mental Illness estimates that almost 1 in 5 adults experience mental health problems each year. In 2017, an estimated 11.2 million adults in the U.S., or about 4.5% of adults, had a severe psychological condition. According to the National Institution of Mental Health, during the pandemic, and I and most of you, I'm sure, felt or seen a rise in mental health issues. I know, especially being stuck in the house, that's something that's hard for a lot of people. I mean, it scared a lot of people. It gave people anxiety. Being inside and not seeing sunlight can cause depression, and then stressing about the fear of dying. I mean, those things alone really cause a lot of mental health issues in people, and we've seen things that we probably didn't really recognize for the longest time because we had to. I mean, when you're sitting in the house and you're face to face with it, whether it's you looking in the mirror back at yourself or you're looking at your family members who you didn't realize had these issues, and then now we have to come face to face with these things. I mean, it's pretty alarming to think that there's so many people who are really unmedicated, who are really not talking about these things, who really had to come face to face with their own demons during that time. I don't know if you guys can kind of remember back then. It's not really that far back, but just, even within yourself, I know I went through a lot of anxiety, like going out in public or, dealing with the stresses of like, oh my God, I have to wear a mask and I might get sick. And, all these things, really, kind of gave even myself anxiety over just being out in society. So what I want to know is, do you think that society increases the likelihood of mental health problems?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tenfold.
Yes. Yes.
Tenfold.
Yes. Hands down. It's a different change. People got to get used to adapt to different things in the world. Is different. Like you were saying, that mask. You talk about, man, I panic wearing that mask. Imagine working at a plant and you wearing a mask, and oh my God, it was getting to the point like, oh my God. So it changed. You have to go with the flow now, and it's like, do I want to do it? Do I have to do it? It's like, do I want to work? Is because I gotta wear a mask and I'm panicking in a mask. Do I really want to go through this? Is this money? It gets you second guessing a lot of things, like, man. But yeah, that was like crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize that it was going to be so dramatic, like devastating to, impact everything that their livelihood was, built upon. You basically going to work without a mask, starting off your whole life from when you started off going to work. You're going to work, no mask, you're around people, you're socializing, your main job was basically like customer service. You got to talk, you got to be in front of people, you got to shake hands, you got to greet people. And then all of a sudden everything changed from you can't touch, you can't be in front of people no more, you can't be in 15 feet or 6 feet, but 6 feet, but if you're around somebody for a certain amount of time, you can be exposed. It's a big change where you don't even want to be around anybody no more, and basically sometimes your family. And that's where that mental come in, like, man, I'm around this person for so long, and then all of a sudden now I'm building, I'm actually getting, I'm feeding off of what they're already dealing with. So it's building up on you, and you're feeling this emotional stress. You feeling all this tension, all this hurt because that person can't do things that they wanted to do before. Their job is not paying them the right because they have to change up the whole stature of their job. It's different.
I agree.
Don't be a parent. You gotta do homeschool work and all that clashing. People getting in trouble from schools because they don't cuss their kids out the wrong way or they don't hit them the wrong way. It was crazy. It was crazy. Man.
Yeah, it's very hard for parents that have kids and staying at home. Like the kids got to stay at home virtual, or some of them actually got to go to school and they got to wear a mask. Some kids don't even want to still wear a mask. They just think it's nothing.
Like why do I want to wear it? I mean, my nephew, I remember him just trying to put that mask on. He was not having it.
My son's 6 years old. He ate his mask. I'm like, oh my God, that's not what you're supposed to do.
It's edible. It's an edible mask.
Way it come back wet. Like, what did you doing in school? Like, what's going on?
Where you get one of them from? I mean,
that boy was dripping. Like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here?
Also, Jen, I want to
listen, because I work in the school.
Hold on.
These kids
hold on just a second. Hold on, Gina. Just a moment.
Well, I didn't want to come off the topic, but as far as like the mask, but you was talking about like suicide and how mental health and society play a big part as well. People look at society and try to live up to means that don't belong to them.
Oh yeah.
And they try to hit certain pinnacles that's not for them, and they look at society and what they're doing, and if they're not at that particular mental capacity, it messes with their physical or their mental health as well. That will actually boil down to suicide. That's real. I mean, because
even thinking about kids, imagine like the kids who had never seen the inside of a school for their first year of school.
Yep.
Think about kids, and this is honestly what I don't know, and this is I don't, maybe it's because I think so deeply. Sorry, just 1 minute, Gina, and I'll go ahead and let you speak. But one thing that really sat with me, and it's because I love children. I have nephews. I'm the auntie of everybody. Okay, like pretty much all my friends' kids. Like I just hundreds of kids call me Aunt Jen. So, I really love children, and all I kept thinking to myself is, what about the kids who are stuck in the house with parents who are abusive? What about women who are stuck in the house, or men? Don't misquote me. Women or men who are stuck in the house with their abuser. What about, things like that? And even outside of the pandemic, society's just standards for how you're supposed to look and feel and act. Right. Those things alone can cause mental issues. Go ahead.
Just like kids, just like people get out the house just to breathe. Kids go to school to breathe from the situation at home. And then by schools, just look that up. Look how many kids for Child Protective Service went out to Detroit alone to people's houses because kids was being abused. Parents don't have patience with their own kids, teaching them how to do what they supposed to do in school. Grades went from good in school, then they at home with their parents, and it go down because they're not comfortable. They need their peace. They go to, just like we go to work, that's my freedom. Or we go to the bar, that's my freedom. Kids use playgrounds, they use schools, they use different things to get their stress out. And last year and the year before, they did not have that. They struggled. So many suicide of kids bringing guns to school raised up in Detroit like crazy. Like it was crazy. This pandemic destroyed a lot of people.
So Gina, what did you have to say? I'd like to hear.
I currently live in New York, and I work around kids. I'm working around kids from probably 8:30 in the morning to damn near 9:30 at night. Cause I also got a dance team. Sorry, y'all. Also got a dance team that I have 2 dance teams, and these kids, man, I know parents will be trying to sometimes block it, but these kids be knowing, and they be coming to school, and you ain't even got to be talking about parents. You could be doing the artwork, and they just be like, yo, Miss Gina, my mom and my dad is fighting, my mom and dad is this, and this is happening. And then it gets down to, okay, so how you feel? And then my parents hitting me. And I don't be trying to get the proper people involved, but it's like, damn, do I sit back and just let this kid be that because I want the kid to be around their parent and I done watch people do the system and all that and it hasn't been good, or do I do my damn job? That should be hard as hell.
This is how I would do it. I would kick it with the parent first. Like, look, this is what's going on. Your child is coming back to school saying this, saying that. Whatever y'all doing, try to switch it up. And if it get worse or they keep coming back with it, yeah, then you take it to the next level.
I have, because I've been doing this for about 6 years now, but I have done that to some parents. Some parents are really good communication, but you got some of them who just really don't want you in their business and mind your business. And then my kid shouldn't be fucking talking to you. So I'm just like, whoa, okay. Let me not go back to that road. So it's like, damn, I really don't want nobody kid to be taken. I believe, y'all can make it, but y'all not letting me help y'all. Y'all just, and that shit is sad.
It's not, they try not gonna be directly taken. They're gonna investigate.
Oh, right.
Get themselves together. So, hey, ain't nothing wrong with scaring them.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with putting a little fear in their heart so they could get tightened up as a parent. So if you don't step up, then this is going to keep constantly going. And then they're going to keep reaching out to somebody. They're going to keep reaching out until somebody really say something, because actually they're reaching out for help in a child's way.
Right.
What you have to say, Cupid?
All right. I'm kind of on the same point with Gina. I'm actually around kids 24/7 myself. I'm a teacher for a middle school, and these kids soak up so much because they're trying to figure out life like we did growing up. So what they see is what they're gonna do. So most of the kids that I deal with are, if y'all know what 504 plan and mental disorders, having these problems, and they come to you and they want to bring, they actually tell you what's going on in their life. They open up because they don't have that at home, because their parents don't listen. Their friends, all they do is fight, argue. All they see is violence around them. So when they bring it to you, it's like you have to listen because nobody else will.
Definitely.
And
School is often their safe haven. I mean, I know even even for me, not saying I didn't go through no kind of abuse, but for me, often that was my place. Like I could be myself, and that was where you learn social interaction. So think about this for a moment. When children for their first year, like they were just about to start kindergarten, their first year they did online school so they missed out on very key points and development. So socially, children are gonna, for years to come, this is gonna kind of affect children who really started off in the pandemic, who are supposed to be socially interacted. These are key points that children are supposed to have growing up for mental development. So, you got to think that this is not just this, the 2 years that the pandemic that we had to deal with and strife as adults, but children who have started off already with their mental not being all the way there because we're not socially interactive. So now we're going to have socially awkward, not as in like the kid with the moon boots, but just not socially interacted children because they haven't been socially introduced to society. So I feel like that's something that really, and then not only that, but people who didn't have any type of mental ailments who have trouble coming back into society, because it's a fear there. Even for me, like, man, every time you go to the grocery store, you don't know if that's going to be the time, or every time you touch that gas pump, or every time you're constantly just have to think about that health wise with the pandemic. But like, that's just the pandemic. That's on top of already real life adult stresses like your work, because that hits your pocketbook. You didn't know if you were going to have a place to live. You didn't know if you were going to have food to eat because everything was shutting down, and people were toilet paper, water. It was such a scarce. These are things that we need. So you didn't know from one day to the next if we were going to be fighting over a roll of toilet paper, or if we were going to be fighting over a bottle of water. So these things that just really came into fruition, just kind of was more in our face during that pandemic. Things that we already were ignoring, we could no longer ignore. So, but if you guys are just pulling up, that's okay. Hold your thoughts. You can find us here every Saturday on the Red Room Talk. You haven't missed it all. We still do have more to discuss. We just discussed what comes to mind when you hear the words mental. And then we also talked about if you think society increases the likelihood of mental health problems. But now I want to see what you do for yourself. Good mental health depends on delicate balance of factors in several elements of life. And the world at large can work together to contribute to mental health. A person coping with mental health difficulties will usually need to make changes to their lifestyle to facilitate wellness. Such changes might include reducing alcohol intake, sleeping more, and eating a balanced, nutritious diet. Kind of goes back to that physical. People may need to take time away from work or resolve issues with personal relationships that may be causing damage to their mental health. So I do want to get a little bit personal and ask, what do you do to actively maintain and improve your mental health? And you can go ahead and stay put right there, Gina, and give your take too. But what do you actively do to maintain and improve your own mental health?
Music, roll up. Music, roll up, stream, definitely stream, because I got people that really, I can really talk to, or call Instagram, like, what you doing right now? And tell her all my little problems, and she'll sit back and listen to me, you feel me? But yeah, that's how I handle my mental, you feel me, when I need it.
I'm gonna say I like if I'm inside at work or something like that, I take a step outside, catch that fresh air. Ain't nothing like breathing in fresh air, because being inside and cooped up in circulated air and all the tension is in the room, just walk outside. That's what I do. Um, I don't drink anymore. I stopped drinking. I don't drink. Um, I had to because it was a health problem. So I had to cut back on it. Now I drink a glass of wine every now and then. But I do roll up. I roll up, so it calms me down. It's the anxiety, so it calms me down. I focus and relax and go to sleep, because I barely sleep. So when I finally get a chance to really sleep, it really helps me out. So that's what I had to do. Just sit down and go to sleep and rest my mind.
For me, it's the same thing. Like, I gotta smoke. Because only because it kind of like I said, it just eases my mind and just give me that time where I can just kind of like just focus, just really, really indirectly focus, you know. And then also because I feel like I'm in nursing school, so that's already a stressor for me. My son, I work, it's like I'm doing a lot already, so it's just them times I need to take a breather. I'm an Aries. I will block everybody out. I don't care. I don't want nobody to call me, talk to me. It ain't toward nothing. It ain't toward nobody. I'd like to just isolate for a second, kind of redirect everything if I could. I will pray, and that helps a lot. That's more than anything, actually. And then once I kind of get my mental together, then I will continue. But that's what I do as far as like help relieve the stressors, the life stressors. I'll say. That's
Cause I don't have kids of my own, but I'm always around people's damn kids, and nobody tell you the downside of being around people's damn kids. Some little kids are stressful. These got a big ass family, is stressful. So I just smoke, think of a dance I can choreograph for my dance team, think of a art project I could do for my kids at work. I just try to keep busy and just make stuff, honestly, and smoke. That's it. Listen to music, like old school music, Patti LaBelle and shit.
hey, we all be smoking, so I don't know.
Make sure you watch
That's
your
out a
language.
lot.
I don't really drink like that, but if you took away smoking, I don't know.
I need to smoke.
I
People
don't
just
know like if that was gone. For people who
People
do
just be bringing me there. People just,
If they took marijuana away, oh my God, I will be on some real Leo.
They can't.
Touch
They
me.
can't.
I'm a Gemini, so I just don't let me smoke. Let me smoke.
Let me just have my weed. That's it. Give me my marijuana.
Look, Victoria, they can't. They done already passed the law. They said that marijuana is decriminalized.
I go in jazz knowing that they can't taste me for weed now. Like what up? You told me I failed last time for weed. Not no more. Let's go.
So for me, I'm an artist. So I draw. I write poetry. And definitely an art for me is being on here. You know, this is me. This show. This show honestly is something for me that really it stresses me out, y'all. Don't don't get me wrong, okay? Because any abundance of things can go wrong. But often you guys are kind of my safe haven, you know, because getting on here and talking to you all and seeing that some of the things that even I deal with as an adult that all of you also contend with, you know, we are all, although we may have grew up in different areas or we grew up in different households, we all have these commonalities, you know, so it makes us all not feel so alone at the end of the day. You know, I have a lot of people on here who I consider more my friends than my real friends back home. You know, I've been friends with some people for 30 years and I get more sound advice from people who I've never met, who are on the other side of a screen, or you know, some of you who even have my personal phone number, you know, who I talk to off of the app, who've become a real staple in my life. You know, but I really think about you know, just the just regular day-to-day life that you know, really can stress us out, and not even thinking about just substances, you know, like, you know, weed or alcohol or any things to calm me down, because those can cause other issues, you know, alcohol. Um, but think about like going for a walk to clear my mind, or just something like that on a positive note to take my mind off of things, because I know it myself, I deal with a lot of stresses, and you know, so I have to like calm myself. You know, I don't get a lot of sleep. That's one thing that I know that I deal with it, you know, because my mind is always on 10. You know, I always am like thinking of the next thing. You know, I have, you know, my next show was already on my mind after I end this one, you know what I mean? So you know, there's always just day-to-day things that I think about, you know, my family stressors, you know, my home life, you know, things like that. So often this is one of my biggest safe havens, you know, one of my biggest de-stressors. But also some of y'all be stressing me out too, okay? Let me get that out. No, I'm just teasing. I'm not teasing, but I'm teasing. Um, so yeah, if you're, do you have anything else to say on that subject? We're all good? Okay. So if you're just pulling up, you are late. You're like halfway through, but you haven't missed everything. We still have a little more to discuss. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can click the icon on my profile and follow my YouTube for any episodes that you've missed. We just discussed what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health. Then we discussed whether mental health is more or less important than physical. Then we also talked about society increases the likelihood of mental health issues, and what problems and what you do for yourself. So now I want to bring it all together. People with conditions such as anxiety, depressive disorder may benefit from relaxation techniques, which include deep breathing, meditation, mindfulness, prayer, having support network, whether via self-help groups or close friends and family, or like we just spoke about, tags, can also be essential to recovery from mental illness or maintaining mental health. So make sure you're always out here talking. But I want to know kind of what you think about what we discussed tonight, and what actions as a community or what steps do you think should be taken to erase the stigma surrounding mental health issues? If at any point any of you guys in the comments want to weigh in on this, there's no problem. Just go ahead and hit that plus sign. So I'll just go ahead and repeat the question. What do you think about what we discussed tonight, and what actions as a community or what steps do you think should be taken to erase the stigma surrounding mental health issues?
I would start off by saying, you know, take that extra step to contact somebody, ask them how they doing, because you never know, you don't know what they might be going through. So you take that extra step to actually contact somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. You don't know what they've been going through for over the time they haven't been speaking to you, especially if it's somebody that you was really, really close to, and you haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks, and you know you talk to them on a daily basis. Contact them, ask them how they doing. If they don't answer you, is something going on. And most of the time,
they probably already told you something was going on, but you just didn't realize it because they didn't fully tell you. They just gave you a hint, but you never took the effort to actually say, "Are you sure you all right?" And you just got to take that time.
For me, first step will be kind of what you did, Jen, because you actually posted like the awareness and the hotline. Somebody might not even be comfortable. Somebody right now live might be wanting to on that hotline and call. You just never know who you reached out to with just having this type of topic, this type of conversation, and actually putting out information that somebody can reach. So as far as like a community, let's talk about the tag community. You actually reached out to somebody, you know what I'm saying, right now in your stream, and that's like actually the first step to have somebody know where they can go to if they want to be able to actually talk about that. For those who's not comfortable with just having a conversation, dropping little hints or anything, somebody might have a really good poker face. Somebody can go to work today, have a good day, and go home and commit suicide, and you'll be shocked. Like, I just saw him today, they was happy.
I was just talking to him yesterday. Yeah.
When they get to the point in life, they can actually be able to wear that hat to be happy because they've been so sad or so messed up. So we just never know. But like you said, as far as the community, the first step is actually putting out information so somebody can actually, reach out on their own time. And then that's the first step.
Agree. What you think, Vicky?
Communication with your community. If you say you deal with them, if they your friends, they supposed to be your friends, a family member, communicate. Like Cuba said earlier, they already told you something was wrong, but we was entertained by something else. A lot of people hide they stressful and mentalness through a smile, but hey, it might just be a smile and they really just need somebody to talk to. Communicate, reach out. Communication is the key to everything.
Agree. One thing though I always think about is people are not always able to reach out. I think we really need to start reaching in a little more. That friend that wasn't smiling today on tagged, and they're normally the bubbly, funny, happy one. It's okay to bother somebody and send a message like, "Hey, are you okay?" Or if someone seemed a little on edge today, make sure you guys are reaching in a little more, because I think people are often afraid to reach out too, and fear of being judged. So, I really think about, just making sure that you're reaching in too, because as a community, we need to care about everybody. Make sure, even if that person might not be your best friend, it might just be someone who you see every once in a while, but you haven't seen them in a while, So make sure that you're also reaching in. So what number do we call? I will plug that in just a moment. Okay, John, so hold just for 1 second. Actually, the number to call is 1-800-273-TALK. That is for the National Suicide Hotline. If you need anything else for your specific needs, I also have the Veterans Crisis Hotline, the LGBTQ plus Suicide Prevention Hotline, and the NAMI Hotline, which is the National Alliance of Mental Health Hotline text line, all plugged on my Instagram if you just click that icon.
What is it? On 1-800 what?
273-TALK. So I want to know, kind of like what we discussed tonight. I think this was really great to bring to the table because, this is something that's so stigmatized. I think it's something we need to start talking about, because the more that we talk about it, the more that it's going to be accepted as a norm of talking about it. The less you talk about something, because, in society, there's things that even as adults that our parents often don't talk about. Looking back, like, dang, our parents never discussed this in our home. So, make sure if you have kids that you're discussing these kind of things with your children, because even the little things can become big things. And if they can't come to you with the little things, they're not going to come to you with the big things. So making sure that you're reaching in to, not just wanting people to reach out, because often someone who's going through a crisis is not going to reach out. So if you are just pulling up, you're definitely late. It's almost over, but don't fret. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also click the icon on my profile to follow YouTube so you do not miss an episode. We're at my favorite part of the night. We just discuss what comes to mind when you hear the words mental health. We discuss whether mental health is more or less important than physical health. Then we also talked about if society increases the likelihood of mental health problems, and then also what you do for yourself. Then we did bring it all together to kind of discuss and go over what we've talked about. But now we're going to go to my favorite segment, the Ask Jen Hot Seat question. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to know so viewers can send questions just for me. If you want your question to be featured on next week's episode, make sure that you go to my profile, click that icon, follow me on Instagram, and then look out for those Ask Jen Host Hot Seat question posts in my timeline and also in my story. This week, actually, we had Sunshine write in and ask, why is everyone so scared to talk about mental health and getting help for it? In the short, Sunshine, I think because it's something that people are afraid to be judged for. I think that we don't talk about it. People are scared to talk about it because of the judgment that a lot of people pass on others for things that they like or things that they do. So when you're talking about a mental health issue, people are afraid of being pegged as crazy or to be ill or that they're sick if they, express that they're going through something. But all in all, I mean, we all kind of go through our own things, whether we like to admit it or not. Everybody is human. We all go through things. And why are people afraid to ask for help for it? Because I think a lot of times people might not know where to go. So that's why I did take the time. I typed them out individually. I took the time to make sure that I gave you guys a plug for your individual needs. If you guys are going through any type of crisis, those are there for you. But also anytime, I am also here. I'm no therapist, but I am always a listening ear for any of you who need me, friend or foe. I am here because I would rather have 15 minutes of talking to you on the phone than hearing of someone hurting or harming themselves. So do not ever feel that you are alone and that you can't come to me. I'm definitely an open door to any of you who need help. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think, why people are scared about talking about mental health and getting help for it? I mean, aside from just the judgment alone, why do you think people are scared to talk about mental health and getting help for it?
I mean, you kind of summed it up. Like
it's the judgmental that when it boils down to it, is people are scared to talk just because what are you gonna think? How are you gonna take it? Can they handle this? If I tell them there's something wrong with me, can I still build with this person? It's always gonna be what if they turn me down. I'm tired of turn down. So yeah, it's the judgmental off top. That's the only thing I can really is the judgmental.
Agree.
Some people just don't know how to put it into words what they ask for. Sometimes it be like that. Like I don't know what to really say, so I'm just not gonna say anything at all, which is not good. But everybody think different, and if they don't know how to put it into words to talk about it, or they might just be ashamed about what's going on with them, which is, we should be open enough to know, to let them feel like they can come to us about anything. So, but when people feel like they can't open up, then they won't talk about it. And that's when it becomes a bigger issue. So
shut down.
Yeah, they just pretty much shut down. So yeah, I don't, to answer that question, yeah, I just feel like they don't really talk about it because maybe of what the person might say. Because everybody got something to say all the time. So it's hard to really kind of open up about anything nowadays without somebody being judgmental.
Mm-hmm. So, even often in people's own homes, I think like I can remember, hearing my friend, like they're crying and their parent be like, man, just go to your room. But they deal with something really heartbreaking to them. And I think we often look at children as not having these kind of issues, but children go through stress just like we do as adults. So I think, making sure that we start there. Start when they're young to make sure that they can reach out to us. I don't know any of y'all, but I can see y'all having a podcast. Oh, most definitely. Speak that into existence. But I feel like it needs to really start when these children are young, that we need to start talking about, so it's not stigmatized as they get older, and to make sure that these issues are talked about more widespread, starting in elementary school, because these kids are dealing with tough things that even adults stress out about. So you know what I mean? I think that these are things that need to be set in place, that we need to really start reaching in when they're children, you know what I mean? So when they're growing up, knowing that these are things that are okay to be talked about. Um, so, okay, so thank you, Sunshine, for writing in. If you guys want your question answered, make sure you guys look out for the host hot seat Ask Jen question, and your question could be featured on the next episode. It's scary to share anything, let alone something that feels so personal, but you'd be surprised to find out how many people you know have also dealt with or are dealing with depression, anxiety, voices, or thought problems. If they haven't themselves, most people have family members or friends who have. While not everyone will understand, many people do. No matter what path you choose, it's important to reach out to others to get help. The inside voice that happens with mental illnesses often convinces you that other people won't want to hear your struggle or won't be able to get help. Get help, learn how to talk about mental health or how to get help for yourself or someone you care about. After tonight, I hope you all make an effort to allow people in your life to feel comfortable enough to open up and have a safe space to talk. If you yourself need help or someone to talk to, my inbox is always open, and you can always contact the National Suicide Hotline 24 hours a day at 1-800-273-TALK. Make sure you go ahead and plug that in the comments for me. That's 1-800-273-TALK. This is for anyone from any nationality, any background. I've also plugged the text line for the National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, the Veterans Crisis Hotline, and also the LGBTQ plus Suicide Prevention Hotline on my Instagram. If you just click that icon in my profile, if you are having any type of crisis. So it's ready, available to all of you for your specific needs. Make sure that you hit that icon if you need that. And also, like I just said, my inbox is always open. You can reach out to me anytime, because I would rather take 15 minutes to listen to your problems than to hear something that's happened to you. So make sure that you are able to reach out, and I will also make sure that I start reaching out a little bit more too. If you're just pulling up, this is the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's almost over. Tonight's topic was mental health. You're definitely late, but don't fret. You can find us every week on YouTube, which you can find by clicking that little icon in my profile and subscribing. So every week I kind of come to this place of healing. So I always have this quote at the end of the show. So I'm going to leave you with this quote. Some of the most comforting words in the universe are "me too." That moment when you find out that your struggle is also someone else's struggle, that you and you are not alone, and that others have been down the same road. Unknown. I'm going to repeat that. Some of the most comforting words in the universe are "me too." That moment when you find out that your struggle is also someone else's struggle, and that you are not alone, and that others have been down the same road. I thank you guys all for coming. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and give your outros and tell us a little bit about yourself, about your stream. And then we do also have time after for any of you who are in the comments to come up and get in the box and talk, or any of you in the panel, we can have this, a little bit longer talk. I definitely have more information to give. But go ahead and introduce yourselves again for all of the people who are in the comments who may have missed it in the beginning.
I'm Cotton Candy Yams. I don't have a specific time that I stream, but I do stream as much as I can possibly. I'm a nursing student, and I just love it here. I love to meet new people. I love to make people laugh. I love tech. So whenever I get a chance to come on here and stream and reach out to other people, that's what I do. But you can find me in my page, hit me with the fave. You can find out when I go live. Nothing specific, but it's your girl Cotton Candy Yams with the fave.
Okay, one of y'all.
Yeah, I'm Victoria's Secret. I stream. I'm a streamer. I got a new show tomorrow, 10 o'clock p.m. It's called Confessional Sundays with Victoria's Secret. It's about to be lit. Thanks, Jen, for my artwork. I got a lit flyer. Thank you. And I'm a Leo, and I'm ready to smoke. So
just getting that mental right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first I want to apologize because I think I messed up with looking at times. I'm so because I was like sitting there and then somebody came on my live and they said, TT, I think it's on already. I said, are you kidding me? So I apologize because I really wanted to be part of the beginning of the whole thing because I have dealt with a lot of different mental issues and diseases. So I did want to touch on those things because I've experienced them. So I do apologize. I will further talk if anybody want to talk because I have suffered from, PTSD, and depression, suicide. All of those things are part of me, but I'm a survivor of it, so I can talk about it. So that's the thing. So I wanted to be here. I'm sorry. But I do have a Wow Factor show on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a new featured show. If you have a new talent, you a streamer, a new streamer, you want to get your name out there. It's basically to showcase anyone that's a streamer on here or anyone that has a talent, a skill, a profession, something that you want to share with the tag community. That's what the show is about. And then on Tuesdays, I have the Lip Sync show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm always on live smoking and choking with everybody else.
All right, I guess I'm last again. Yay.
Women first, always.
Hey, respect that gentleman mentality. But make sure y'all hit me with that fave, man. It's Cupid. I stream, like I said, I stream after 6 o'clock because I teach during the week. So after 6 o'clock, I'm good. You can catch me in my live. I do game days on Tuesday and come out, spin the wheel, try to win some prizes. And on Saturdays, I do my show before Jen show. It's Derek Cupid with Cupid every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure y'all tap in. Hey, y'all gonna enjoy the next show. Cause guess what? Jen is gonna be on it.
Yes, me and Jay. So I definitely thank you all for coming tonight. I'm your host, Jen and Juice. You can find me here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also a graphic designer for Getting Lit Productions on the Getting Lit show, which you can find at King of Diamonds every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, you can find me late nights, anytime after 10 p.m. up until noon-ish. No, I'm just teasing. That don't tell you I don't sleep. I don't. I mean, I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm a late nighter. I'm a late night owl. So you guys can find me anytime in the late nights, demon time, demon hours. So yeah, but this has been a great talk. I think this is something that really, I know, I'm sorry, Jariah, he gets on me about it. But this is something I think that really needed to be talked about. I think there's such a stigma around it and so much fear in talking about mental health, but I appreciate, all of you for coming and talking about things, even in your own personal lives that we deal with, because that just goes to tell us, kind of like my motto for the show, that no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, that we all have commonalities when it comes to the mind and heart. So tonight really kind of shed light on a lot of things, and I definitely thank you all for coming through. But definitely, it's not over, y'all. Any of you have questions in the comments? Any of you have questions in the comments or any comments to talk about? Well, definitely the subject tonight was mental health. So don't be afraid to talk about it. If you have a story, those things can often be a guiding light to other people to feel, that they're not alone. So if there's anything that anybody would like to say or speak on, or don't be afraid.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Just this is one of my little thoughts that I have, and I say to people on the app, because we don't know what someone is dealing with, and people tend to say things that can possibly take that person over that edge, that cliff that they're sitting on. Don't be that person. Try not to be that person to push them over the cliff. That's all I'm gonna say there. That because it's going on a lot on this app. That people are taking it and literally they fragile. You got an egg sitting right here on the edge, and they like, you know, I'm really fragile right now. And they telling you, they like, I'm fragile right now. They being real with you. And then you got somebody that just really don't care and they just gonna shove you some more. We don't need that. We need to pick people up and not push them, pick them up, love on them, see what they need to help them, because it's constantly going on.
Grown-ass bullies, grown bullies. I see a lot of it on here, most definitely. Well, this is often a lot of people's safe haven. It's also a lot of people's downside. You know, some people get on here to get away from the world, and you get on here to have another fight with the world, and that's not cool.
Right.
I'm gonna say, if anybody need anybody to talk to, my ears always open. My ears is always open, like for real. I'm here to listen. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm always here. That's me.
Agree.
I'm pretty open.
I'm open.
Definitely. I definitely appreciate the talk tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and get our outro music, and then we'll go ahead and start off with some different questions if y'all want.
Sounds production. What up, sound?
What's your question? Sure the recording's done, but definitely any of you in the comments, you can click that icon in my profile. My name on Instagram is Jen_N_MF_juice, but it's easier just to go ahead and click that icon than to type in all them underscores. Trust me, go ahead and click those icons, because there is definitely a plug for the National Suicide Hotline. There is a plug for the National Alliance for Mental Health text line, the Veterans Crisis Hotline, Suicide Hotline, and also the LGBTQ plus suicide hotline. So make sure that you are utilizing those things if you are in any type of crisis. And like I said, yet again, you can always hit me, and they've all extended themselves to also be a guiding light if you need that. But definitely, I've definitely enjoyed the talk tonight. But if any of you have anything to say, go ahead and you can talk about it. I know TT Mama did say that she has some things that she would like to say too. So.
Oh, I had said that. That was,
yeah.
you know,
things that you've dealt with.
Yeah. I mean, I see it every day, and then you hear about it. You hear about people ending their lives over something someone has said on the app.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, can we not be the people that's making people go over? Like, they already literally, people come on this app to decompress. They have things that's going on in their life, and they just want to escape it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you come here, and the place that you are trying to escape at is making you feel like you need to escape. Yeah, it's rough.
Oh yeah, social media can definitely add to that. You know, I think people, just having expectations on themselves, or Like you said, they could have had the worst day of their life and they were already thinking about suicide. And that one word that you said could push them completely over the edge. So always be mindful of the things that you say to people and the way you speak. I always say, act as if you had a mirror in front of yourself when you say things. Would you want these things to be said to you? Would you want things to be said? Also talk to me like you're talking to your best friend. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want those things said to your best friend, to your sister, to your brother. You need to really make sure that the things that you're saying, like, to me, how you present yourself, that's like your brand, right? That's your brand. How you interact with people, and always make sure that, like, you're leaving people with like that, like, wow, I really love Gin and Juice. Like, I don't know, but I just went in there and I talked to her. She made me laugh and she was funny, and she just made me feel better, because often that's the things that people say to me, like, you're just so magnetic, and I love hearing those things, because that means I've left you with like that good feeling. And I think you should always leave people better than when you met them. Always leave them with a better taste in your mouth than when you met them. Your how you present yourself and how you interact with people. You don't know what I mean.
You ain't got nothing to say nice. Don't say it at all.
Yeah, going back to elementary school. Yes, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Don't say nothing at all. Keep it to yourself.
Yes, it's okay to shut up sometimes, y'all. It really is. Okay. Oh, we got some yippies.
I'm gonna say some doggies.
Not the red. Definitely, that's my favorite troll right there. He at every show, front and center. Whether it's with my photo or the show photo or something, but he's definitely the best bouncer you can have. I think that it's just sad that something that we all deal with, like, and it's crazy. It's something we all deal with is so stigmatized, because we all deal with stress in life. Right. We all deal with these things, and if we would just start talking about things like that more, I feel like it wouldn't be so stigmatized. It wouldn't be so fearful for people to speak out on things. And because I know, I'm sure we've all been there, because I know there's been times when I've been there where someone's telling you something, like, man, they're always sad, they're always this, but sometimes you might be that one person that they're okay to talk to. That they feel comfortable talking to you. So in that moment of me listening to that 15 minutes of you crying, like I said, I would rather hear that 15 minutes of you crying to me or talking to me than to hear that you ended your life.
But you also can't do once in a while checkup. You got to be constantly. You can't just come in, come out either. Because you got to stay consistent. If you're gonna be a friend, be a friend. If you're gonna reach out,
don't be a half. I can say no. Don't be a half-ass friend.
Don't be a half-ass. Do the whole thing. If you reaching out and you supposed to be my support, be my support. Don't be my support and just disappear on me. You got my information. Now I feel like that's why a lot of people don't open up to people, because people run with that information and they don't know.
We'll talk about you behind your back like you a dog. Just know that anything that's ever told to me, if you come to me, that it is all safe with me. I'm not one of those people. Even if we become enemies, I'm not going to allow your information to become public information. I think that is one of the dog dirtiest things to do to somebody.
All I'm gonna say,
I don't care if tomorrow Cupid's like, you know what? Screw her. I don't even like her. No way. Her show sucked. And then you still came to me the next day. I would still come to you with the same. I'm not saying you would do that, Cupid guy. But I'm saying I would still come to you with the same sympathy. People do it all the time. Let's be real, especially on this app alone. People will turn on your back so quick for some diamonds,
Hey, if you felt that way, I got confessional Sundays. The blind spot's gonna be blind, so you could just let it out. Tomorrow 10 p.m. Eastern time is gonna go down. You feel me?
Secret confessional. You can say anything you got to say in that blind date box without being revealed. So make sure y'all go pop up tomorrow at 10 p.m. for Victoria.
I want to say this.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with a good morning text to ask somebody how they doing. Did they sleep well? Or an afternoon text like, how was your day? You had a good day? You good? You want to talk about how your day was? That's it. That's all you got to start it off with. That's it. I do it all the time. Like, everybody's in my phone. I go down everybody that I talk to on the daily. How How was your day? Good morning. Good
Like I did Jen the other day. I said, man, she don't seem right. What's going on? I interrupted. I exit. Boom. What's wrong? Talk to me. What's good? She just felt it. I said, oh, okay, that's what's up. Okay, I'm glad you feel better now. You feel me? You gotta do pop ups.
We all go through things. We're all humans. We deal with, adult stresses and just stresses of life, because let's be honest, not all of us put our whole personal business on here. Not everything is meant for tagged. We all have our own personal lives outside of this. And I think it's also healthy to have a disconnect from here too, to have those things outside of here. Now, I have a lot of great friends who run off of tagged, but not everything is meant for this app either, because there are those kinds of people who will tell your business. So make sure you're always mindful about who you go to. If they're coming to you telling you about Jessica's business, be damn sure they would tell your business too.
They tell her that shit to Jessica.
If when they fall out with somebody, they out here telling all their secrets, just know they probably gonna do that to you too.
Be like, remember that
So always listen twice and speak once.
Remember that one time you said that one time about her? Yeah, you was right, man. I just seen it all. Like, yeah, be like, man, I been that. Yeah, it's always something. Always.
Right. That she said that, he said that, she said, that he said, she said bullshit.
You 40 years old. I ain't got time for that. You better leave me alone. I'm gonna laugh at you. I laugh and make them irritated. I laugh. I straight will crack up like this.
You should go here. Everybody knows already, right? I really don't have any kind of go ahead, like he just said, go ahead. If you have something to say, it's gonna really reflect more on you than it does on me.
I'm gonna look at you stupid. Like, what?
Don't tell me nothing. I don't know.
Pretty much open.
Call me Eminem from 8 Mile. Hey, tell them somebody don't know about me.
Right. Right. I feel like
I don't have no secrets.
Please
if
tell me.
you're talking about me, and just know, so not everybody who listens is got good intentions. So make sure that you're going to people who really have your back in a real life situation. I could tell you, I have friends on here who I know if I called up tomorrow and I needed $20 or whatever, not even just monetary, but if I needed just a minute to talk, I know that I could call them up with no qualms, and my words wouldn't be spread out there. You know what I'm saying?
I need $20. I need gas.
Okay, well, look, see what had happened with them. My bank account is set up. My cousin's hamster died, and we having a funeral, so I had to pay for the gas money to get to New York so I could,
For a hamster,
$40. Hey,
y'all need $40 a month against the dev, okay?
And $20 don't get you but 4 gallons of gas.
Right. $20 ain't even gas money no more.
Look, I'll go around the corner.
That's not even groceries. I'm just saying, that's not even groceries no more.
No, really, it's not. You get a box of cereal. $5 won't even get you a box of cereal.
I'm about to eat cereal.
What the hell? I'm
$2 broke.
But you still can get a case of top ramen
for $1. Okay, the little pack. What is that? Right?
Go get the cut.
$3 still? Are they?
Hey.
I honestly should buy stock in top ramen, because literally people gonna always eat top ramen.
Let me tell y'all something. Mm-hmm. Get y'all some ramen noodles. Get you some eggs. Scramble some eggs.
Yeah,
we're making a cook up.
Y'all don't went to jail.
Add some real chicken in there.
He making a whole cook up, y'all.
Chicken breast.
What you gonna do? Let it sit in water? You gonna spray that?
What you mean? You can put whatever you want in there. Shrimp.
Sriracha.
You put some hot dogs in that thing.
Oh no, not hot dog. Look, I need to reach out to you right now, sir. If you ain't hot dogs and ramen, Lord, let me help you.
Hey, look, if you ain't got no sausages, no chicken, no steak, no shrimp, better put some hot dogs in there. Order some bologna.
Bologna.
Okay, he hit the struggle for real.
I think, hey, what's that too short? It's time to go.
If I ever hit that kind of struggle, please help me.
I eat Vienna sausage. Pause.
You eat Vienna? Oh my God.
Erase that part.
And we'll be right back with a word from our sponsor.
Can we erase that?
No.
Now my mental health.
Burger.
You just fucked up my mental health thinking about Vienna sausages in a can. That like is triggering with that gum and cheese. Let me please don't do it. Don't do it, please, Lord. No, Lord.
Okay.
You probably ate that can with the meat, the potted meat. Is that what it's called, potted meat?
Oh no, I can't eat that.
That's what the little Vienna sausages.
Can we cuss now? Can we cuss now?
My whole stomach rolls, sir.
You heard Jen cuss about 4 times. What you
Can
think?
we cuss now? Cause what the fuck is y'all thinking?
Yes, we just cussed about 50 times now. Yeah.
Oh, shit. What the hell?
After the show, that baby gone, girl.
Anybody want some nuts?
You know, teach me I'm a lot of nuts.
I don't want to be too, I want to go up there and grab them. Like,
I'm on the rinse out and touch. Let's go.
Don't let me go get my bag.
Rinse out and touch somebody nuts. Oh my goodness.
I want to bag the nuts too. Shoot.
I mean, since you offering, Cupid.
Got some big nuts.
I don't know nobody on here gonna turn down some nuts. Them look good too.
Yeah, that shit was like right. Damn.
I dropped the nut.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
Oh, what nuts? These nuts.
These nuts, okay?
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Now bring it back. Okay, now let's bring it back.
It's like, if you guys have any mentals about nuts, man, make sure y'all hit Cubit and read his bio.
She's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. She's like,
Hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no.
Oh my God. Oh my God, TT.
Big roasted bag.
It's the nuts.
How about no?
Nuts and blunts. Okay, let's go.
Right. Blunts and nuts.
I had to have some nuts.
Nuts and blunts.
He started.
Nuts and
Good for you.
So 2 eating nuts, 2 smoking blunts.
Bam.
oh, hold on. I got one for that too.
Damn.
Weed every day.
Hey, turn the fuck up then. Let's go.
All right, let me go get my blunt in the roll up.
Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead, roll it up.
I'm gonna pick me a bowl of cereal.
Say what?
Don't choke me.
Hey, you ain't choking, you ain't smoking.
You heard?
You heard me. Shit. Nuts.
Oh man.
These nuts is good, though. I mean, I love nuts. He really started me. I ain't had a nut in a long time, so I got me some nuts. I got a whole bag of nuts now.
So what I need to know.
Smile be like dick.
Man, OMG.
Look, I used to get everybody, look, okay, hold on. That's some old school Red Room talk. Benji, no. Look, I used to wait till the very end of the show when I'm like, thank you all for coming. And then I would just hit that button and everybody would be smiling. And then the dudes would all of a sudden be like,
Oh wait.
I ain't shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'll roll my blunt.
Hey, we got to stay high in the house.
We stay
Smoke weed every day.
Woo!
You know this. Smoking.
Smoking.
I miss smoking. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
So you stop smoking.
I got in the backwood one thing shit.
Hey, what's
What'd you
going
say?
on with TT? Hold on. What she got over here? Hold on.
You stop smoking because you wanted to stop smoking, or
I know because I was forced to. Because I have medical insurance. Because I'm having surgery, they made me stop smoking everything.
Man, I'm gonna take a trip.
So I am
And everything. Jen was Jen was high a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
Okay.
don't tell nobody. Okay, so
This
listen,
man, fuck this
listen.
shit. Jen was so fucking stuck, bro. Jen was in this bitch like this.
So listen, because I get tested with because of my medical insurance, right? No, it's not no probation. I'm not no troubled child. But because of my medical insurance, I have to be tested. So what I do, because I can go anytime during the month to get tested. So what I would do was on the day that I would go get tested, I'm my mama. I'm parole, yeah, because I killed him.
She on colors.
Man down.
Killed a man. Y'all better watch out.
She on color. She every day she got to call to make sure her color ain't going.
Right. Oh my God. Look, that's anyway. So anyways, what I would do is I would just hit it once or twice on the day that I would get tested. But what had happened was I hadn't smoked in almost a year. Since September, since it was my birthday. And so I got on here. That was the most fucked up thing I did, because I should have just sat my ass right at home, not on here, because I sat there and I was just like,
yo, I jumped in the box like, Jen, what the fuck is wrong? You okay? And she's like, yeah.
I was like,
I said, what happened? She
Quantum Sounds Production. What up, sound?